You have the greatest superpower of all, the power of choice. Every decision that you've made, every action that you've taken, everything that you've done up until now has led you to exactly this point in your life. And all of your decisions continue to shape your destiny, because everything you decide to do now will determine who you become and will determine where you go in your life. So with so many different paths we can take, so many different decisions we can make, how do we know to commit to something when there might be something even better around the corner? How do we know that the decision we're making is the right one? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about how to make great decisions fast. So let's get right into it. I'm Brandon Eastman with BeBetterIndustries.com, and if you're new to this YouTube channel, here we talk about peak performance, mindset, and achievement. Achievement towards your goals and achievement towards who you want to become. So if you're into those things, be sure to hit the subscribe button here and hit the bell. That way you're notified of all new videos that we release every single Monday. And hey, if you're into decision making, if you're into personal development and self-improvement, hit the like button here. That way this video can be shared with more people. Let's talk about the difference that decisions can make in our life. Think about it like this. Let's say you decided every day in a week you're going to eat a small bag of chips. Maybe it's a small bag of Lay's salt and vinegar chips or whatever kind of chips that you like. And every single day you eat a bag of these chips, and the bag's about 200 calories. After 3 days, are you gonna notice a difference? Probably not. After a week, are you gonna notice a difference? Probably not. However, fast forward 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 1 year, 5 years. After that amount of time, that small choice to eat one bag of chips every single day has now compounded into tens of thousands of extra calories that you've placed into your body. Our choices compound. The small things that we do on a daily basis lead us to a greater outcome. And for some of us, it's the outcome that we don't want. Think about it in terms of relationships. Let's say you and your significant other are maybe in a new relationship, but it doesn't matter. It can be a relationship that's new. It can be one that's been around for 5, 10 years, maybe 20 years. Let's say you have a fight once a week. Eventually that fight once a week builds momentum because we didn't take any actions to improve that situation. So that one fight a week turns into 2 fights a week, and maybe then it turns into 6 fights a month. And eventually you're fighting all the time and you lose that love and you lose that feeling of excitement that you used to have. And this is why we see 50% of marriages end in divorce. Because the small choices that we make on a daily basis compound to a greater outcome. We have to understand how our choices add up and how they compound in order to understand the importance of making great decisions. So how is it then that we can make great decisions? How do we know which direction to go? Well, the first thing is this. Every decision that you make moving forward, every choice that you make, I want you to be sure that that choice aligns with your purpose. That's number one to making great decisions. Everything that you do, I want you to think about the decision in terms of this. Will this decision bring me closer to my outcome? Will this decision strengthen my purpose? Will it strengthen my resolve? Will it bring me closer to where I want to be and who I want to become? Or will this decision bring me farther away? So if your goal is to weigh 190 pounds and currently you're 210 and you've got a bag of chips in front of you, before you take that first chip out of the bag or before you even open the bag or even buy it, ask yourself, does this bring me closer or push me farther away from my goal of weighing 190 pounds? If your goal is to have a strong and fulfilling relationship with somebody that you love and care about, when you go into that fight, or even if you start the argument or right before, ask yourself, is this worth it? Is this going to lead to a strong and beautiful relationship? You know the answer. But by asking ourselves the question, will this decision lead me in the direction of my purpose? It will help us to make quality decisions. If you don't quite know what your purpose is, then go up here to the card that I put in this video and check out my video on how to find your purpose. In short, your purpose is what you have inside of you to help other people. It's your natural abilities, your abilities that you've learned throughout your life, and how you put those together in order to help the greater good. It could be helping your family, it could be helping the community, it could be helping the world, if you want to go that large, which we all have the ability to do so. Now, it is important to realize that while it might seem that you're taking a step back, you might actually be taking a few steps ahead. Let me give you an example. Maybe you are in a relationship that's not good for you, and you make the painful decision to leave that relationship and be alone for the time being, okay? Now, what might happen 2, 3 weeks later, a month later, 5 months later, a year later? You might find somebody that's completely perfect for you at this point in your life. You find someone who gives you that feeling that you didn't find in the prior relationship. You find somebody that you really connect with, somebody that you're so extremely happy with. Would that have happened if you were still with the original person in that relationship when you weren't happy? At first, it looked like you were taking a step back, but after you found the next person, you actually found something that was better for you. It's important when making decisions to look a few steps ahead. Ask yourself, by making this choice, where will this lead me in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year? Because that outcome could be better. It's the same thing with leaving a job that's not good for you, leaving a job that's not challenging, leaving a job that has no growth potential for yourself. It might look like you're losing all of that progress by leaving, like you're taking a step back. But a few months later, you find the dream job. You score a deal that changes your entire life. Would that have happened if you were still with your original company? No, but you decided to take a few steps back in order to take a few steps ahead in the future, leading you to a better outcome. So always look ahead once you make a decision, because you never know where it might lead you. But number one is, before you make a decision, ask yourself the question, will this bring me closer to where I want to go, or will this push me farther away from my end result, from my goal, from my outcome? That's step number one. There's something out there called analysis paralysis, meaning you've got so many choices that you can make, you've got so many different directions that you could go. The whole world is your oyster. You could go in whatever direction you want. Some people see all of those opportunities and they shut down. They don't choose anything because they're afraid that by making a choice, they're going to be stuck to something. They're afraid that by making a choice, they're completely and fully committed to something and they can't change it afterwards. Well, the second tip that I have for you will help you to combat analysis paralysis, and it is this: simply choose something. Even if you're not quite sure where that choice is going to lead you, just decide. Because while you're waiting to decide, you're simply wandering. You've got nothing that you're working towards. And if you continue on that path, you'll have a year of your life, 5 years, 10 years of your life where you're not working towards something. As long as you have your outcome in your mind, and as long as you understand your purpose, then it is okay to choose something or anything that will move you in the direction of that purpose. And the trick is this, and this is the real tip: choose something and then constantly assess your progress towards the goal. So maybe your goal is to weigh 190 pounds and currently you weigh 220. Choose some kind of workout routine. Get into the routine. Start going to the gym. Start finding different people to work out with and look at what they do for their routine. And a week in, 2 weeks in, ask yourself, how is my progress since I started on this workout routine? Is this working for me? And if it is working, find out what's working well and what's not working, and eliminate what's not working. Keep what works, eliminate what doesn't. The trick is to choose something, decide on something, make a choice, and then assess your progress and continue to adjust your approach. The reality is, we never know what life is going to throw our way. It's all about how we react to what life throws our way. And in order to react, we have to see what's happening. We have to assess our progress. And after we assess how we're doing so far with the decision that we made, then we have to adjust our approach. Whenever I set a goal and start making action towards it, I constantly adjust my approach. I'm a decision maker. I like to get started on things. I like to do. I like to achieve. And I'm guessing that's you too, because you're on this YouTube channel, okay? So if that's you, Choose something that will lead you in the direction of your purpose, that will lead you in the direction of your outcome. Continue to assess how you're doing towards that outcome. Maybe keep a journal, take notes every single morning, and then adjust your approach if what you're seeing isn't working. The key is to make a decision and then change it as you go along. The plan will never be perfect up front. You will have to make changes if you want a magnificent outcome. So number 2 is simply choose something and continue to adjust your approach. It comes down to this. In order to make high quality decisions, in order to make great decisions that will lead you in the direction of where you want to go, you have to know where you want to go. You've got to know your outcome. You have to know your purpose. And again, if you don't think you know your purpose, I'll put the card up here again to my video that will help you uncover your purpose, because it's everything. You have to know what you have inside of you that can help other people. And once you know that, once you pinpoint that, which might take some time, but it's good to start now so you can start discovering what that is. Once you know what that is, then the decisions you make will only be of high quality, because you'll ask yourself, will this bring me closer to where I want to go, or will this push me farther away? And then you'll decide and continue to adjust your approach. So I want to know in the comments, which one of these 2 tips helped you the most? What tips am I missing? Post in the comments anything that you use in order to make high quality decisions. And while you're down in the comments, be sure to click the first link in the description below. When you click that first link, it will ask you to enter your email. Once you enter your email and hit submit, it will send you a free copy of my ebook called Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery, which is full of strategies that I've used to improve my life in the 5 key areas. Again, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you see all new videos on peak performance and mindset every single Monday, and be sure to like this video so it gets shared with everyone who could also use this information. And until we speak next time, continue to be better.